We'll begin with today's session now, and we'll begin with a minute of silence. Thank you. So welcome everyone in today's session. The session is very special as always because today we are going to talk about a very important topic, which is today, as you all know, this is World No Tobacco Day, which is very important day, especially for us who have been working in the field of cancer, because we see that many patients are getting diagnosed, especially like oral cancer, mouth cancer, because they use tobacco in their everyday's lifestyle. So we all think that yes, it's okay, we can use it in our young days, but then later on, when we reach 40s 50s, we face the repercussions of it. So while this all can be avoided, but they don't understand that it might cost them their lives. So so we are going to discuss about significance of this day. We are going to discuss about so we have our today's speaker Mehul and Dr. Rohan. Mehul is stage 4 throat cancer survivor, and Dr. Rohan spreads awareness around no tobacco and how can we get rid of this. So I'm Dimple Parmar. I'm founder of Zenonco.io and Lovells Cancer. We work with cancer patients to help them in their journey, to make their journey easy, and also guide them on the path of integrative oncology. And very happy to have all of you with us. We'll begin with introduction, and also thank you to Manipal University and Jaipuria Institute for giving this opportunity to spread awareness. Over to you, Tinky and Apurva.
Hello everyone present here. I would like to invite the speakers who will be addressing this session. Dr. Rohan Bartek, who is a tobacco treatment specialist serving his domain from last 15 years. He is currently working with NGO, Indian Cancer Society, as a medical officer. He has counseled over 5,000 plus patients and conducted over 500 awareness sessions. He has also conducted tobacco de-addiction camps in 16 traffic police stations. He was invited to Nagaland by Governor of Nagaland to conduct a de-addiction camp and spread awareness on tobacco. We welcome you, sir. Next, Mehul Vyas, a fourth stage cancer patient survivor. He settled in US from past 6 years and working with Alliance Data as a senior fraud investor. He is a stage 4 throat cancer survivor and recently passed through 6th year of prevention, which we called as cancer free. He devotes his free time to bring awareness about cancer and lifestyle habits such as smoking and alcohol consumption. He regularly gives speeches and presentation in education institutions and other organizations. We welcome you, sir. Over to you, Apurva.
Thank you, Dinky. And we would like to welcome two prestigious institutes, Jaipuria Institute of Management, Jaipur, and Manipal University, Jaipur. Manipal University is associated with the club Lex Logical. The vision of the club is making people aware about their basic laws and increasing their knowledge by organizing activities. And thank you so much. Now I would like the guests to continue with the session.
Thank you so much, Apurva, and we'll begin our session with Mehul. If you can share your journey, how you encountered cancer, what were your learnings, challenges, and if you can share your background, that will be wonderful. And then followed by Dr. Rohan's learnings and experiences and spreading awareness around this, so that those who are going through this journey want to leave tobacco but not able to. So it would be great to hear from you some tips which can help others. Thank you so much. Over to you, Mehul.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for giving me an opportunity to be with you here today and talk to you about my journey. It's an honor to be with prestigious institutions and also people like you all. I definitely would be very happy to share my journey. I have made mistakes in life that I should not have. And I would also want people who are listening to me to learn from my mistakes and not do them again. So basically, I'm a stage 4 throat cancer survivor. I used to smoke, and that was the main cause of my cancer. I started smoking at a very early age, and then like in college, and then it always was there with me till I was diagnosed stage 4. Then it was when I was diagnosed, I was just given a month to survive, and luckily I'm here today. I fought cancer. I learned it the hard way. I have I've made a presentation of my journey to share with you all today, so that it can be, you can collate with all those incidences, and you remember next time you try to smoke or do anything bad, you just remember those pictures of mine, and maybe they can help you keep that butt away from. Can I share my screen, Dimple?
Yeah, you can. Please do. You have the access.
All right. So take me as a good example or a horrible warning. Take it as a warning. So this is my smoking history. Like I started at the age of 14, basically when I started going to college, and I was just like influenced by friends and peer pressure. So normally hota hai, like, ek baar maar kuch nahi hota. Kind of it started from there. And then again, it went on to alcohol. And then I thought that was what I see in movies, and that was cool, going to parties and all. That is when everything started from, and I was enjoying. These are some of my pictures where I'm doing parties and going out with friends and doing all that things I should not have been done. I knew it was wrong. You know that it's written on every packet that it will kill you. You'll get cancer, but you ignore it. You keep thinking, no, it will not happen to me. The same thought. I thought that my friend smokes more than me. Maybe he will get cancer first, and I'll stop then. But I was wrong. So there are some friends who still smoke, but they are fine, and I had to almost kill myself. So when you know it's wrong, it's wrong. And I still kept doing that. This is when I was diagnosed stage 4. I had a tumor on my vocal cord, on my right vocal cord. It was stage 4 when diagnosed. I kept ignoring the symptoms. I lost weight. My voice started becoming hoarse. And then I kept going to my local doctor, who just kept changing the antibiotics, and it really didn't work. It took me to stage 4. Then I had a tracheostomy tube put in my throat because I could not breathe because of the tumor. It had grown so big. So they put a tracheostomy tube in my throat here, from which I was breathing, and I had to eat through a pipe in my stomach and nose, because that was the way I had to feed myself. This is the photo of the way I used to do it. Like, it was a daily routine, eating through the nose and breathing through the throat. I never thought of this day when I used to smoke. So it was so, every time I had to do this, it used to pain me, and I used to think that, I always ignored those warnings and all, but yeah, it's true. These are some of the pictures about my treatment. So my life before cancer, you saw the pictures, the life during cancer. This was the worst part. So I had these tubes in my body all over. This was when I was going through chemotherapy, and I was dying every day. I didn't know if I was going to survive the next day. I was given a month by the doctors. They said that the tumor had spread to my spine from the throat. So it was just a miracle that I survived. And these are some of the pictures. She's my wife. She's cleaning the dirt from the tube, and she always kept telling me that, you need to stop smoking, and you need to. I'm not going to be there to help you and all. But yes, it was not their fault. Yet they had to, be with me through this horrible journey. So family support is very important. This is me when they had to pull out the teeth from my jaws because of the radiation. They had to remove all the molars, and I was also chewing tobacco early in my life. So my mouth opening was reduced to just 2 fingers, and I had to use this jaw exerciser to open my mouth and close my mouth, exercise with that. So every time I had pain, I used to think of, why did I smoke? Why did I chew tobacco? It was, you cannot just Life does not have a reverse gear. You cannot go back. Then these are some of my pictures during my radiation. You see the burns on my throat. You see the tube in my stomach. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult to survive the treatment as well. These are some of the side effects, the sores and the blood coming out. And I had to be rushed to the emergency a couple of times during my treatment. And even after the treatment, my teeth kept falling out, and because of the radiation, there was no blood going in the jaw. I have 6 implants in my upper jaw and 6 in the lower jaw. So I basically have all duplicate teeth, and I have trouble maintaining them as well. So it's not just cancer, but it's the other side effects as well. This is the end of the journey. I was given a month to survive, and I survived it. This is after a year and a half when my treatment was over. I was given a Courage Award because it is very difficult for people to fight this kind of treatment. These are my parents. My dad had to sell his property. My wife had to take a loan just because I smoked. I chewed tobacco. So it was not their fault. Both of them kept telling me that stop it. It's going to harm you. But I just did not listen to them. And then finally, this was after a year and a half of my treatment. I was happy to be alive. I realized my mistakes. I thought I should now pay back. The cancer made me a different person. It changed me, the way I thought. Then this is when they were removing the tube from my throat. She's my wife. She was so, in all this process, she saw the cancer people so closely. She donated her hair for cancer survivors, and so the cancer, it will not only kind of put you in trouble, but the whole family is in a mess. And then gone is gone. So I now decided that I need to start again, all over again. I got a chance. I'm going to pay back for everything I did. I started eating healthy. I started going to the gym. This is me after 2 years of my cancer. I started using my free time for good activities, like I go collecting donations and cleaning cigarette butts from the gardens and all public parks. And I do that every weekend. And now these are some of the side effects. Even if you think that I'm perfectly fine now, it's not like that. I have a anxiety every time I go to the doctor to check myself. मुझे डर लगता है मेरा कैंसर वापस आ गया क्या? If I find some blood in my stools or anything, it's very scary. Then tinnitus. I have this tinnitus. I don't know if everyone knows about it, but I'll just give you an example. There's a ringing in my ear, continuous 24/7. This is the sound I hear now, all the time. It is so irritating. It is like those crickets in the night. I cannot focus on my work. I cannot sleep. There's no, uska koi ilaj hi nahi hai aaj tak, tinnitus ka. Then I go into depression. I have a thyroid problem. I'm talking with just one vocal cord of mine. So the other does not work. So those are problems. I cannot run. My brain does not, the body and the brain, there's a loose connection. So I might fall down sometimes. I have chewing issues because my teeth are not original. High blood pressure. This is always there with me. Then I made a bucket list. Even if I'm there with all these problems, I'm still alive. I'm happy. I made a bucket list what I need to do. Now this is my life after cancer. My life now. This is what I've always wanted to do. Drive a Lamborghini. I drive a bike. I do that now. This is when I realized that smoking, drinking is not life. This is life. I do all the things I need to do. I go skiing. I spend time with my family. That's my wife, my kid. And I realized that this is really enjoying. This is enjoying life. This is Grand Canyon. I go places. I'm doing a good job now. I save money instead of wasting on parties and all those cigarettes. I save them. I go out places. I do a good job. I'm like, once you're out of those bad habits, you start dedicating more time on focusing more on good things. I learned to fly a plane. I always wanted to fly a plane. I always used to think that one day I'm going to be a pilot or something, but I got a chance after my cancer and I learned to fly a plane. I do that now. I have a group where I connect with youngsters, like students. I go give speeches in schools and colleges, and sometimes they have questions. This is a group on Facebook. You can always connect. This is a group of cancer survivors I take care of. I do spend time talking to the people who are going through the journey and helping them out. And this is my profile on Facebook. You are all are free to connect with me if you have any questions. I call myself the luckiest person on earth, which I am, because I'm alive. Everyone is not. So if you're smoking, if you're chewing tobacco, any bad habits, please stop it. Everyone is not that lucky. और वो सब तो छोड़ो, लेकिन after all the trouble you've gone through, you lose your money, and it is still not guaranteed. So this is my journey till now. I think people who smoke and do all those things learn from this and make the most of it.
Thank you, Mehul, for sharing such an inspiring journey. I mean, every time I hear about it, every time I get new insights from your journey, because you had bad habits. You agree that, you accept it, and yes, God has given another opportunity, but not everybody is that fortunate to get other opportunity. So we are grateful that you had the chance to see another life, and we are grateful that you are here with all of us. But Mehul, I will request you to share a few messages from your journey. And you work with adults, you work with young people, and navigating them through this entire journey when they are leaving or they want to leave the tobacco. So can you please share your key insights from that?
So, as I'm taking care of those groups, I also reach out to students and people. They talk to me. They find it difficult to quit. I found it difficult to quit as well. Otherwise, I would have quit. But then, once I had a tube in my throat and I could not smoke, I realized after a week's time that I'm still alive. I didn't die, and I'm doing well. So it's just your brain. You have to just, अगर ये तुम्हारा last cigarette है, दुनिया में last cigarette है, what are you going to do? You're not going to kill yourself, right? You're still going to stay alive. It's the way you think. And like now, Dr. Ron will definitely, give you all tricks and tips on how you can do that. But from what my experience is, it's all the mind game. If you think that you want to leave it, you can leave it. I had a friend who I always remember his sentence. He was a chain smoker, and I used to ask him. We used to go out to smoke together. And one day he said, "I'm not coming. I left smoking." I said, "Hey, I think joke kar raha hai." And then he didn't come for a couple of days. I went back to him. "Did you really quit?" "Yes." "How?" "Jaise pakda waise choda." So simple. And then that's still in my head. Like it's really so simple. You just have to forget it. Like it's not there. So basically, it's all, you make up your mind. You think about your family. It's not their fault. You're killing them for you're being selfish.
Yeah, very true. Anybody has any question to ask? Okay. So, I was reading your story, Mehul, and it's a very beautiful message that I want to share with everyone. Trust in yourself, believing in God, and miracle happen. After throat cancer, people started calling me a miracle man because no one knows how I was able to survive. Focus on one day at a time. People need to get educated about cancer. It doesn't spread by touching, and it's not contagious. It is still considered taboo, so help spread awareness about it. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming together to spread awareness around it. Ask questions to your doctor and be aware of your treatment. Enjoy today to the fullest. Don't wait for an occasion. Create an occasion. Make a list and start doing the things you love, because you should not regret later for anything. Always believe in giving. So thank you for sharing the beautiful message, Mehul.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you for reading out all those things. It was just out of my brain, but miracles happen. You have to believe in the power of miracle and the power of attraction. I always keep advocating about it. आप जो सोचते हो वो आपको मिलता है. 100% नहीं तो थोड़ा तो मिल ही जाएगा. एक बार just think that I want to live a good life and keep thinking on that. Keep out a negative thing and negative people from your life. You will be fine. If I can, anyone can.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, anybody has any question? Yeah. Dinky, you want to ask something?
Yes. Sir, may I know what was your main motivation? What was your motivation path? How did you fight the cancer, this cancer fight? How did you, means, what was your main admiration that helped you to pass out this hard stage in your life?
My main motivation was my kid and my family. Because when I was diagnosed with cancer, my kid was 7 years old. And he used to come and write on my hand, get well soon, Baba. He calls me Baba. So that 7-year-old kid, he didn't even know what cancer is. And then that would hurt me. I would cry. That what is his fault? I brought him in the world. I can't take care of him. My wife, she always kept telling me, don't smoke, don't smoke. I kept smoking. Now she's taking a loan and repaying it for me. Even if I would be in her place, मैं तो छोड़ के चला जाता था. So these things made me feel very bad, kind of guilt feeling था. और फिर I came out of that guilt feeling. Okay, I'm alive. I'm not dead. I can fight it. I kept reading on books about people who fought cancer, and I did a lot of research on my cancer. कि मुझे इसे क्या करना चाहिए कि I can beat it. Even if the doctors told me it's just 1 month I can survive, they are not God. कुछ तो होगा, कुछ तो there. If there is a problem, there is a solution. Every lock has a key. वो चाबी को ढूंढो. So I did a lot of research on my cancer, and today I can debate with good people, with doctors, because I've done that much research on myself. And even after doing that, I kept a very positive attitude. I stopped listening to negative people. Arey, cancer ho gaya kya? Ye ho gaya kya? No. Normal bimari. Cancer is no big deal. It's just a disease. A little different disease. So just don't listen to negative people. Do what you think is best for you. You are the doctor of your own body. When you go to a hospital, when you go to a doctor, he's going to ask you, kahan dukh raha hai, pet dukh raha hai, sar dukh raha hai. He is going to diagnose after you tell him the answers. So trust in yourself, trust in God, and then your doctor. So this is what kept motivating me. My kid and my family. I want to give back, that I'm doing now, and life has no reverse gear. एक बार वो गलती कर दी तो you cannot go back. You just have to fight it out. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other question? You can also raise hands in here at the bottom. There's an option to raise hands so that we get to know, so I can unmute you and you can start sharing your question. So anyone? Yeah, Manoj, just a minute. Yes, Manoj, please.
Good evening, sir. My question is to Mehul sir. Sir, what is the total time period of your recovery and how does it long to you to recover? Right now you have some symptoms also that you tell, but what is the total time duration of your cancer and the recovery time?
So Manoj, cancer no two cancers are same. Every cancer is different. So it took me a year and a half to recover. I still have those symptoms, but I'm called cancer free because I'm 5 years, the cancer has not come back. Every cancer is different. Every treatment is different for every cancer. So on an average, it depends on the stage the cancer is diagnosed and the type of treatment it is being treated with. So, but it is not easy. It is going to be a long treatment. So it might take anything between, I think, 6 months to a year. And then there are follow-ups. Like every 3 months, I used to go for the first year for checkups. Then 6 months. Then every year. So again, it is a very complex disease. It's different for everybody.
Any other
Did that
question?
help you?
Yes, sorry. Okay. Great. Thank you so much, Mehul, for sharing your experience and your learnings from your life journey. And I'm sure as we progress, there will be many more lessons, many more learnings, and many more experiences. I just wish that nobody goes through this journey of cancer. It's complicated, it's difficult, it's messy. So we don't have to go through it, and we just have to do the right things at the right time and take all the necessary precautions what we have to take, and just it can be avoided by following a healthy lifestyle. हम लोग इसको बिल्कुल avoid कर सकते हैं, prevent कर सकते हैं अर्ली डिटेक्शन कर सकते हैं ताकि मेहुल की तरह स्टेज 4 में डिटेक्ट नहीं हो. So a lot of things can be done, and but we usually they say that people ask me at times that what will be success for you, and I always say that when I don't get any cancer patient to me for any kind of advice, that will be the true success for me, because we don't want any cancer patient in the world. So that's our vision as well, to save lives from cancer, to save cancer patients, and we pray, wish, and hope that no one goes through that journey, and we all are able to follow the good, healthy lifestyle practices to avoid that, prevent that as much as we can. And there's a question from Pooja, and then we will request Dr. Rohan to share his experience. Just a minute, Pooja. Yes, Pooja, please share.
Hello.
Yeah.
First of all, I would like to say that it is very brave thing to come out of the cancer, because even I have experienced in my home, because my papa was also having a cancer. So it's a very brave thing. Congratulations, first of all, I would like to say. And then I was asking that on which stage it was.
So mine was diagnosed at stage 4.
Oh.
My cancer, yeah. So that is why they gave me just a month to survive. They said gone case.
Oh.
So my tumor was on my right vocal cord, and it had spread out to my spine. So initially they thought of removing my vocal cord, and then there would be a stoma here in my throat, and I would speak with a machine here like this. But जो भी होता है ना अच्छे के लिए होता है. Because वो tumor वहाँ spread हो गया, they didn't remove my vocal cord.
Okay.
And then, so the chemo worked. Again, the problem was that the chemo might work, might not work. So if the tumor would shrink, it would shrink in the wrong direction, that would not be of any help. So it shrunk in the right direction. So from this year, I learned take every positive thing in the negative thing. मतलब वो अगर shrink, अगर वो tumor वहाँ पे मतलब they might just बड़ा नहीं होता तो they might have removed my vocal cord. So it was stage 4, and the doctor said, no, you're not going to survive. And I said, no, I'm going to survive. And Abhi, they're doing research on me, on my case in the James Cancer Hospital today.
Oh.
Right.
That is so nice.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
And I hope your father is doing well now.
Yeah, he's well. From 10 to 12 years, he has cured. He has cured.
Very nice.
And this was your willpower that made you strong more and more.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. And those who wants to connect with Mehul, I'm just sharing his Facebook profile here. So feel free to get in touch with him. And also I've shared his story link from our website, zenonguru.io. So you can also visit his story and spread the word around, because yes, it was stage 4, but still he's here with us. So we should have willpower, hope, and faith, and anything is possible. So thank you, and over to you, Dr. Rohan. Would love to hear your insights on this campaign, and also the wonderful work that you have been doing in the society from so many years, like 15 years. So it's a work of service, it's work of human service what you are doing. And really we need to spread more and more awareness around this, because if we see head and neck, mouth, oral cancer is one of the prominent cancer which is out there, and we feel bad because this can be easily, first of all prevented. If you just leave tobacco, it can be prevented. Secondly, it can be easily detected in the early stage as well. Just we need to take care of the symptoms and signs of it. So thank you, Dr. Rohan, once again, and over to you.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. And hi, Mehul. It's always inspiring to listen to you. Is my screen visible and I'm clearly audible?
Yes, visible and audible.
Yeah. Yeah, the time is less, but I'll try to cover the main points, and if anything, we can cover in the question answer session. But some basic points which about tobacco, I want to explain, because with my experience, I know there are certain misconceptions among people for about tobacco, which I would like to explain. I'm representing Indian Cancer Society. I work with Indian Cancer Society. We do a lot of work for prevention, screening, awareness, early detection, treatment, support, and also rehab. So they are doing great work in cancer field, and I am in the awareness department. So for tobacco, as Dimple ma'am rightly said, it's one of the most preventable cause of cancers. Tobacco is one of the most preventable cause of cancers. So why we are talking about tobacco, and in India, what is the significance of it? So there was this GATT survey in 2009-10, which is a pretty authentic survey, big level survey. It's by WHO and Government of India, and it's been converted in several other countries, like more than 22 countries across the globe. So the results which came in India were shocking. Like 48% of Indian adult males and 20% of females are using tobacco. I mean, this is something shocking. 50% of our adult population consuming tobacco products. And when you know that 40% of all cancers are tobacco related, there is a direct correlation. 90% of all oral cancers are tobacco related. What do you mean by that? If these people stop consuming tobacco, there will be direct impact and the cancer cases will start going down. So that is the highest rate of tobacco consumption in India. When the survey was repeated in 2016-17, it was dropped to like 42% and 14%. But if you see the population growth, and 40% of a big country like India is a big amount. So still we have a huge work to do, and there's a huge amount of people who are consuming tobacco, and they are falling prey to a lot of different diseases, cancer being one of them. So just want to tell you, when a healthy person comes in contact with tobacco in any form, this is what happens to him. This is a fact, and I'm not going to scare you with pictures, but this is a reality which general public should be aware of, because they have some rosy picture of tobacco in their mind, which is not the truth. So from where does tobacco come? Tobacco comes from a tobacco farm. Why I'm telling you this thing? Because tobacco farm is the only farm which doesn't require fencing. Even animals don't eat it. So that is not the point. The point is, with the tobacco, if you take the tobacco leaf from the farm and give it to the laboratory to understand what are the chemicals present into it, even at that time there are a lot of chemicals present which are not, good for the body. They are harmful to the body, and nicotine is also present. So it is not an edible plant. It is by itself, it causes a lot of harm. And over a period of time, when cigarettes are prepared, gutkhas are prepared, different products are prepared, they add a lot of other chemicals into it. And the latest research says that when a person is smoking a single cigarette, he is exposed to almost 4,000 to 7,000 chemicals. That high is the number. And out of which 200 are poisonous, 60 to 65 are proven carcinogenic, which have the capacity to produce cancer. Anyone who is smoking, anyone who is consuming tobacco, taking thousands of chemicals with so many poisonous and so many carcinogenic chemicals, it is bound that he may land up into problem or some other disease. So that is about the this. I'm not going to details of it. Like, people feel Shah Rukh Khan smoking is the reality, but that is not the reality. Reality is that it causes a lot of effects on the body. It causes financial loss. It causes family life also. Like Mehul said, how the entire family had to face problems. So this is the reality of tobacco, which we need to promote, because this is not aware. People are not aware of this. People just feel Shah Rukh Khan smoking is the reality. So there are different tobacco products. I'm not going into details of that, but just trying to make some few misconceptions about this product. Like cigarette as a filter, that doesn't make the cigarette safer than a BD. Cigarette is still dangerous, and you see the number of chemicals you get from a cigarette. Cigarette companies promote it like Gold Flake Light or Low Tar or Slim or leading cigarette. There is nothing like that. All cigarettes are same, and all cigarettes will cause harm to your body. So at this point, three things I want to tell. No matter what tobacco product it is going to be harmful. No matter what quantity you are consuming, it is still going to be harmful. And no matter what duration you are consuming it, it is still going to be harmful. So always remember this thing. No matter what tobacco product, it is still going to be harmful. Again, BDs, everyone knows about BDs much consumed in India because of the low cost and easy access, easily available. Hookah is some misconception which I need to clear. Hookah people feel are safe because they are flavored and all. 5 years back, Supreme Court took over the ban of hookah. So hookah parlors have started in majority of major metros. But hookah is more dangerous than cigarette. Hookah session lasts for hours together, so the exposure is more. It's like smoking 20-30 cigarettes, a single hookah session. No matter what flavors they tell you, every flavor on the packet of the flavor itself, it is written that there is nicotine content into it, whatever the content of nicotine. So itself it has tobacco. There is no hookah which is without tobacco. And the carbon monoxide gas, what comes from the hookah, it is the same gas Hitler used to use for the prisoners. So imagine the poisonous gas you are inhaling. Apart from that, as I mentioned, wherever there is tobacco, it is going to be harmful. But there is something important which I don't think majority of you might be aware of. There is something called an interstitial lung disease, which is, I mean, a deadly disease. There is no treatment available for it. So our lungs are elastic organ, and because of the elasticity, they expand when air goes in. But in this disease, what happens is the lung gets fibrosed. The elasticity is lost, and the major reasons for the interstitial lung disease is cigarette, bidi, and hookah smoking. So I have personally seen patients with hookah smoking coming to a chest physician for ILD, interstitial lung disease. There are other reasons like pollution and industrial waste, but the major reasons are cigarette, bidi, and hookah smoking. Unfortunately, today a lot of youngsters go to the hookah parlors and they need to be explained that this is they are going to land up in problem, and this is the entry point. A person going taking hookah today is going to land up into take the another product like cigarettes tomorrow. So it is an entry point into other tobacco products. There is something called like chirut, which is a smaller form of like a bidi with a tobacco roll with a tobacco leaf itself, and cigars, which are again, you must have seen in movies, but personally, I have not seen many people with cigar, but definitely it is a tobacco product and harmful. What I want to tell about is electronic cigarettes, which is a new thing coming up. These are e-cigarettes, wrongly called as e-cigarettes. Basically, they are electronic drug dispensing devices or electric nicotine delivery system. So basically, they have tobacco in liquid form and batteries into it. So the combustion happens and smokes come out of it. So it is similar to a cigarette. They were introduced as harm reduction techniques, but this is totally, there is no harm reduction, and WHO has not yet approved any of the e-cigarettes. And they still have a lot of, they do a lot of harm to the body. They are available in like first generation, second and third generation with vapes, and they are called as vapes and modes, but the mechanism still remains the same. They have tobacco in liquid form and the batteries, which because of which the combustion happens and smokes come out. So it's not, WHO has strictly said that using e-cigarettes has documented adverse effects on human like DNA damage, carcinogenesis, cellular, molecular, immunological toxicity. I mean, it causes a lot of harm to the body. It also causes during pregnancy also it is not, I mean, it is harmful. A lot of countries have banned it. India is a country which has banned e-cigarette. You're not allowed to sell e-cigarettes in India, but unfortunately you can buy it or import it. But in India, you have e-hookahs, which are easily available. So you need to be very clear if your child or your smaller, I mean, the children are into this habit of e-hookahs. Other smokeless products, I'm not going to detail, but just want to tell you in India, we have n number of smokeless tobacco products. Because of that, the cancers, oral cancers today are maximum in India, and we are the world number one oral cancer because we have more consumption and n number of tobacco products. I mean, they can be chewed, they can be snuffed, they can be applied. There are n number of tobacco products. I'm not going into the details of it. Again, there are a lot of misconceptions related to these tobacco products. Only one misconception I want to tell very precisely is the supari or arak nut. Now, the supari and tobacco are different things, but supari also is dangerous. Supari also causes cancer. Supari causes submucous fibrosis. I mean, your mouth opening reduces, and not all these pan masalas are basically suparis. So you should be aware that even if you're not consuming tobacco, even supari is going to cause you problem. These advertised, many of you must have seen in movies. Mera naam Mukesh hai, main 4 saal se gutta khata tha. This is an actual patient who was in Tata Memorial Hospital, unfortunately expired. But what he says is important. Ki mera naam Mukesh hai, main 4 saal se gutta khata tha. So the duration is not important. Even if 4 years he landed up into cancer and expired. So duration is not. You don't never know when you can get affected because of it. So again and again, I'm saying a lot of chemicals. So what are these chemicals? The chemicals are like ammonia in your detergent powder, or cadmium in your batteries, or acetone in your paint. So all these chemicals in our day-to-day practice, we are not going to eat our detergent powder or drink our paint or eat our batteries, because we know these are hazardous chemicals. It would affect my body. But a person who is smoking or chewing tobacco in any form, they're actually consuming this hazardous chemical. So this is something important to be conveyed to the general public who are into this habit. These are the chemicals you're taking day in, day out. So this is bound to produce effect on your body. As I said, a lot of people who have to lose their lives, like more than 10 to 13 lakh people die every year in India, which is more than deaths causing because of HIV, AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis combined together. And that large is this issue. But again, it is so much in our society or in our culture that we don't even take it as a serious issue. Secondhand smoking, I think most of you are aware, if you are exposed to a person who is smoking and the person who is not smoking inhales that smoke, is still going to have a lot of problems and a lot of diseases, and a lot of even cancers happen because of secondhand smoking, and people have to lose their lives also because of secondhand smoking related illnesses. There is something called like third-hand smoking, where you enter a room, no one is there, but you feel someone must have smoked. That is because the particles remain in the room for a longer time, and this particles, if the other person is exposed to, even then it can cause a lot of diseases. This is called as third-hand smoking. I'm not going into details of the diseases. It affects every part of the body, and a lot of all the systems of the body are affected because of tobacco consumption. These are different signs, yeah. But I want to explain this clearly that there are certain signs like white spots in the mouth, like leukoplakia, or red spots like erythroplakia, or submucous fibrosis like the mouth of the reducing. So these signs are called as precancerous condition. So once you get these signs, like a person who has consumed tobacco for more than 3 years will start showing this symptom. I mean, 50% of more of them would start showing this symptom like white spot, red spots, or mouth opening reducing. So these are precancerous conditions. If the person does not stop at that point, there are high chances that this might get into a cancer. So this need to be found out. I mean, pick up early in the patients and need to explain them about it and to come out of the habit. So that the earlier they come out, the earlier they will get better, and this they can be saved from deadly diseases. So as I said, we are the number one in oral cancer because 90% reason for oral cancer is tobacco consumption. And in India, we have large number of people consuming tobacco, and majority, I mean, in India is smokeless tobacco or chewing tobacco more than smoking. And if you see all the advertisement of the campaigns are around smoking, and smokeless somehow is accepted more, or it is not that dangerous. So we have different 16 body part cancers which happen because of smoking. There are other then diseases other than cancers like chronic bronchitis, reduced lung function, asthma, heart problems like coronary heart disease, heart attack, emphysema, gum diseases, tuberculosis. Now, how tuberculosis and tobacco is related? Tobacco has inherent capacity to kill your appetite. Because of you consume tobacco, your appetite will go down. You won't eat. If you don't eat, your immunity would be affected. And if your immunity is affected, you'll be exposed to a lot of infectious diseases. And tuberculosis being most common in India. And in current scenario, COVID-19 or corona is the most common thing. And what we are advised is to maintain our immunity. So if you are consuming tobacco, your chances of getting into COVID and tuberculosis increases. There's a research which has recently come up in WHO that smokers have 50% more chances of getting into COVID than a non-smoker. Early cataracts, diabetes. Again, with diabetes, your sugar can never be normal if you're taking tobacco. Gangrene, your peripheral blood vessels, I mean, your blood vessels get constricted because of smoking. And if your peripheral blood vessels get blocked, the blood supply won't reach the organ and that part will get decayed, and this is called as gangrene. Now, this poison should not spread to other places, so they have to cut it and they call it amputation. This is again common in smokers, called as smokers gangrene. Paralysis, if the blood supply to the brain is reduced, it will cause you stroke. Paralysis, if the blood supply to the heart is reduced, it will cause you heart attack. Macular degeneration of the eyes also will happen. In women also, it is not. It is also seen that a lot of reproductive system problems and pregnancy-related problems are there. Infertility, miscarriage, stillbirths, low birth weight babies, sudden infant death syndromes. Unfortunately, in India also we have the girl smoking which has rise. Already it was there, smokeless tobacco was more, but now even smoking has increased in women. So this is about the bad effects, but we should also talk about the positive effects, like what are the benefits of quitting. That is something what I actually prefer telling the patients more, because that is what will help them more motivated to quit. So there are a lot of health benefits, social and economic benefits. Health benefits, I explain them like if you get an injury, I mean, if you fall down, if you get an injury, that injury doesn't stay lifelong, because there is a continuous repair and regeneration process happening in the body. Similarly, when a person who is smoking or consuming tobacco who stops taking it, there is a good changes happening in the body, and there is a proper research available where it tells you about what are the good changes from 20 minutes of quitting smoking till 15 years of quitting smoking. So within 20 minutes, your pulse rate and blood pressure drops to normal. Within 12 hours, your carbon monoxide level drops to normal. Within 2 to 12 weeks, your lung function test starts improving. Within 5 to 10 years, your risk to heart attack and stroke drops by 50%. Within 15 years, you are as good as a non-smoker. I mean, it was never smoked who has quit before 15 years have the same risk to get any cardiovascular disease. So at that level, your body can repair yourself. So it is always advisable to quit as early as possible so that your body gets a chance to repair as early as possible. Similarly, there are financial and social benefits also. It has a lot of impact on the environment, which I am not going in detail. But we need to understand why do people get into addiction. So people get into addictions. There are 4 main reasons for it. The first is a characteristic of the chemicals. Like gold has some characteristic, silver has some characteristic. These chemicals which are there in these drugs like tobacco, alcohol and all, these chemicals have inherent capacity that they are addictive in nature. Like tobacco has nicotine, and nicotine is one of the most addictive substances in the world. Like if 10 people smoke for the first time, there are high chances that 8 to 9 of them might get addicted to it. Because the characteristic of the chemical is such that it is addictive in nature. Second is person's personality. If your personality is strong enough, you can say no to wrong things, or you can not fall to prey to pressure, and because of stress things and all, you won't get into the habit of consuming tobacco or any addictions. So personality is another thing. Third is friend and family support. This is another very important thing. You won't get into it, and if you get a good friend and family support, you can get out of it also. So there was this case study where the Vietnam War happened and the US soldiers were in Vietnam, and this war was more of a Cold War, but it lasted for a long time and the soldiers were given drugs over there. But once the war got over and the US soldiers came back to US with their families, most of them had quit the drugs completely. So the friend and family support plays an important role. And stressful conditions. It is often observed that when people are surrounded by stressful conditions, their chances of getting into the addictive substances is much more. Why do people get into tobacco habit? Like curiosity, peer pressure, feeling cool or fashionable or stylish, or this is another major reason that film stars are idolized, and looking at them, people get into it. I mean, I have personally met people telling me that we started smoking after seeing Shah Rukh Khan smoking. I mean, that is the harsh reality of this country, that these people are idolized, and movies like Sanju and Kabir Singh get a super hit and the wrong things are followed into it. These people get money for doing this advertisement, but huge young people follow them and get into this addictions. To remain slim, a lot of models smoke, so, as they decreases your appetite, but this is not the right way, as the repercussions are very bad. Tobacco companies have a lot of money and they market and capture their target audiences, but in a big way. Tension is related, and people have a lot of misconceptions. Tobacco will help to overcome the tension or constipation. So all these things are there about people have misconception, but the fact is that tobacco is today the #1 killer, and it is affecting so many people in India today. So this is what is about tobacco, and the treatment part is something. Just a second. So in treatment, people have another misconception that tobacco cannot be. I mean, it is very difficult or impossible to quit the habit. This is not something which is true. This is another misconception. Definitely, people can quit tobacco. I have personal experience. My success rate is about 57 to 67%, which is something pretty good. And people are not aware that there is help available. There are a lot of people who want to quit, but they don't get right guidance, right help. So once they know that there is help and they take the help, a lot of people can come out of it. I'm not going into the details of the treatment now because there are certain general tips, but it is always customized after taking the case history of the person. We understand and we give him a customized plan to quit. Certain things like this, Nicotex, chewing gums or patches, I just want to explain in brief. Basically, these are just one part of the treatment. It is not the entire treatment, first thing. Second thing, this is available as OTC product, but I advise you that don't buy it on your own. Take it under expert guidance because you have to take it in the right dose. It has to take, you have to take it in the right way, and the dose has to be tapered. I mean, the dose has to be reduced. So all these things, only an expert can guide you. And again, I'm saying it is not the entire treatment, and all patients don't require it also. It is just one part of the treatment, and the expert can guide you very well how to use it, and only then it can be impactful. So that was from my side. I would like to take any questions if there are. Thank you so much. This is my number if anyone wants to contact.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rohan, for sharing your insights on this important day. And if anybody has any question, please feel free to ask. So Dr. Rohan, I had a question. So somebody who has been doing it from last 40 years and they know that it might cause them cancer, but still they do it. And especially people who are into their 50s and 60s, it's difficult for them to get rid of this habit. So what would be your advice for them?
First of all, I mean, every person is different and every person has a different mindset. So there is something called as stages of mind where a person, I mean, it's a true thing for any, it's not specific to tobacco, but it's a theory which is called as pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance or relapse. So in this pre-contemplation stage, the person has not even accepted that it is something wrong or I'm doing something wrong. Like a fat person, no matter how much you tell the fat person that you're fat, it is affecting your health. The fat person will tell you, no, I don't feel I'm fat. He has not accepted that I'm fat. Or the smoker has not accepted I'm into this habit. So we have a different counseling strategy for even a person who says, okay, I think this is affecting me and I need help. So that is something different. So we can tell him what help and what plan, how to quit. So that is totally different. For this kind of a case, what you're talking about I mean, it could be of any age, not necessarily 40 years, but a person who is of 40 years age who has been consuming it and he is totally in a denial mode and he doesn't, I mean, it doesn't affect him at all, whatever you tell him. So this kind of a case, we cannot give him a strategy directly because he's yet not to that level. We have to first get him to that level. For this, there are some protocols what we follow, or some strategies what we follow. So for this particular case, we tell him the relevance. First of all, how relevant it is. If he's 40 years of age, we had a professor who used to tell us if a person is of 40 years of age, he should always find 4 diseases into him. If he's 50, he should find 5 diseases minimum. So if he's of 40 years of age, he must be having some comorbidities or some problems. You should find out it and ask him and make it relevant for him. And it's not only the health issues. I always say it also this financial and social angle also, that also you should talk with and make it relevant for me. Why it is relevant for him to quit in first place. Second thing, you can tell about the risk. How much risky it is for you to do it. You can tell them the facts about it and the rewards. This is again very important. People don't talk about the rewards. Once he knows all this fact, knows all this thing, how relevant it is, definitely, I'm not saying 100%, but there are probability that he will come to a stage where he'll say, okay, I think I should do something about it. Once he's coming to that stage about it, then you can probably give him a plan. But we should not leave this person. There are the different strategy we can play in this particular case. And definitely, I definitely would leave any person, any patient, no matter what mind state is. I will still convince him in whatever way I can and help him to do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Any other question do we have? You can raise hand and we can unmute.
I wanted to add one thing, Dimple, over here. While
Sure.
We have people from these institutions, so when we are in school, we are always taken out for some trips to some manufacturing unit or police station or fire engine and all those things. Kids should be taken to a cancer hospital when they are in school, because they should know the reality, is what I think. From my experience from talking to kids in school, they just think it's in movies, but when they see them actually the cancer patients suffering and with all those tubes and everything in the disfigured face and all, I'm sure they will never do that thing again. This has to be shown. If someone would have shown me those pictures that I showed today, earlier in my life, I would have not smoked, I think, or at least I would have thought twice. So that awareness, again, this is about smoking, but with cancer, like I go for my teeth work, so sometimes there are new people who are there working on my teeth. And then they ask me, what happened? Why are your teeth not there? And like, I had cancer. So they jump back. It's an instant reaction. Even though they are educated people, they know cancer is not contagious. It does not spread. But that word cancer has so much fear in public that they just start panicking, like, I'm next to a cancer survivor. So that has to be, taken off. And this is just something that really everyone who is listening have to spread among themselves, among their friends and families. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Very true, Mehul. And any last line you would want to share with everyone?
Miracles happen. I'm an example.
Very true.
Yeah. So you think of what you want and you will get it. 100%. At least 80% to mil hi jayega. Don't worry.
Right. Thank you. Dr. Rohan, any last few words?
Yeah, I just want to tell people that, don't keep this information to yourself. I did not take this session because you all are into tobacco addiction, but the knowledge what I have, I cannot go and tell each and every person, but through your medium, it will reach to more people. And as I said, if I'm helping a person to get out of this habit, it's not a person, but the entire family is also saved. So spread this information as maximum as possible in your friends, in the relatives, to your people you know. And actually, you will make a difference in someone's life. And that is something which will give you a lot of satisfaction. So help more and more people to get out of this and lead a healthy life. And let's all live healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Pooja?
Hello. I want to ask that how you will prevent someone from chewing tobacco and cigarettes?
How will you prevent someone?
Yeah.
What?
Like make them quitting, like.
Make them quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is what we need to understand what stage of mind he is. We need to understand why he is doing it and all. And accordingly design a strategy, which again, we have good protocols. WHO has designed good protocols to do the treatment also. But what I'm trying to tell you is definitely it is possible to quit, and we need to convey this message to the person. And if the help is provided to this people, definitely with good counseling, with regular follow-up, if required, we help them with medications, and definitely we can get them out of this habit.
Thank you. Thank you so
So
much.
basically, they are. I can just give a small example that they are basically 7 Ds. Like first D is drink water, second D is deep breathing, third is delay, fourth is do something else, fifth is what you can say is the drugs if required. Then good diet is also there. So this is something we can tell the people and give a proper plan and get him out of the habit. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And as we come at the end of the session, I will request Apurva and Dinky to take it forward.
Sure, ma'am. And at the end, we would like to thank our esteemed guest, Dr. Rohan and Mr. Mehul Vyas, for giving such a wonderful session and inspired us a lot. And also, we would like to thank participants, especially from Jaipuria Institute of Management and Manipal University, for giving your valuable time and begins to spread awareness on World No Tobacco Day. And also, thank you so much Zenonco.io and Love Heals Cancer to take this initiative for conducting this session. And at last, thanks to all the volunteers and students, and I'm sure that will spread more awareness of say no to tobacco. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
And
All the best.
yeah, may we all get healed. Thank you so much. With this, we will end today's session. Take care.